Welcome to the Anti-Noise Experience, podcast, endurance, noise, and random musings. I'm here in Bakersfield. It's actually not hot. It's only 80 out today, so I'm out on my bike path. Sorry about the sun. I'll change directions. And the Jester is out eating a meatball sub.
Yep, there is my my meatball sandwich right there.
All right.
And I'm in
Subway?
No, homemade. Homemade here at the race. So I'm at Belleville, Wisconsin, doing the Dot. They've got 3 different events. There's a last man standing, a 48, and a 24. And I'm in the 48.
Yeah.
So the 48 and the 24 started at 6 a.m. I don't know why for a fixed time event you would need to start at 6 a.m. I understand a 100-mile race starting at 6 a.m., especially if you have like 30 or 32-hour cutoff. But when you have a race that's going to end at 6 a.m. under a bridge right now. Yeah, a race that ends at 6 a.m. the next day or 2 days later. Why not start it at 8 or 9 a.m.? But anyway, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely odd.
So for me, because it's 2 hours later here, it was more like 4 a.m. for my body.
Mm-hmm.
But that's good. That means, finish up earlier. So, yeah, it's all good. It all works out in the end, so it's fine.
Yeah. How's the weather? Looks nice. How's the weather?
Perfect. It's probably right now in the 60s, I'm guessing. Supposed to get maybe down to the 50s tonight. And it may have barely touched 80, if even that, earlier today. So, and no humidity. So it's perfect weather.
Yeah. When I went to Minnesota, which is kind of similar area, I went there in June, and the weather was exactly how you explained it, just perfect. Of course, the night before we had this thunderstorm that I thought the whole world was going to end because I'm a Californian. But that day of the race, it was beautiful, sunny, never got warm, cool breeze around a beautiful lake. It was beautiful. I was like, oh yeah, this is one of the few times it's beautiful here. Early June and early October.
Yeah.
Now the course is 8 miles.
Yeah. So here's what it is. It's out and back. So what happens is you go out 4.2 miles. And that's the Dot Tavern. It's a small little, small town bar. It's a converted house. You wouldn't even know it. And then they sit there, and on the hour they head out again and come back to the start line. So it's 4.2 each way.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So you're like 8.4 then. Yeah, because I had no idea, because I wrote Scott asking if there was any results, and he'd send me a photo. Then you had done like 4 laps, so you were at like 32 miles an hour or two ago, and I was like, 4 mile. So it's just out and back. How's that? How's the path? Is it like what is it?
I'm going to flip this around. It's actually good.
Well, eat your food. Yeah, we can get it later. Or it looks pretty.
Right now I'm going across the footbridge, but the path, it's all rails to trails. So it's all just packed dirt.
Yep.
Smooth, flat as can be.
That's what I'm on right now. I'm on my bike path, and then I'm on the dirt part. So me and you are both on the same kind of stuff. Yeah. And I've done the tunnel 150 mile, that is. I was crewing, pacing, and it's good surface. So that's a unique format. That's how the original 1,000 miles in 1,000 hours, they did it when they had that big bet, the challenge, back in the 1870s or whatever. They had basically 2 hotels, and he walked from one hotel to another hotel and then back. And he did it for 1,000 hours.
Wow.
And 1 mile an hour for 1,000 hours.
Yes.
And won a big prize money, like, $10,000 or something in 1880.
Hey, speaking of prize money.
Yeah, I know.
I found out last night there's prize money with this race. I didn't even know it. I don't know if it's for only the last man standing or if my race has prize money. Do you know?
I think it's just the last person standing one.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
they were kind of doing my idea about, you know, splitting up the prize money amongst the winners and whatnot. But pretty sure I'm not on my computer, but I think it was for the last man standing. So, but yeah, that was kind of interesting. And so, how many people were left in that race? Have you any idea? Do you
Um,
see them running by you from time to time?
I do, and they go out in a group, sort of, because
Yeah,
they all start at the same time.
yeah,
Uh, last time I saw, it looked like there may have been a few had dropped off. I
yeah,
think there was 19 or 20,
yeah,
and they've been pretty much sticking in all throughout the race. And then this last time seemed like it was a little bit smaller. So when we get
yeah.
to the turnaround, they got a little tote board, and they put a check mark next to everybody's names.
No.
What?
Hey, puppy. Oh, I'm just out here walking. I
Oh,
got two random dogs.
oh,
Not no to you.
oh, okay. I was saying, no tote board. Those are terrible. No tote board. No, so they put a check mark next to each person's name. So when we come in, we'll
Yeah, I
see.
saw that. Yeah.
So,
Scott sent me.
What's that?
Scott sent me a photo of that where you
Yeah.
had. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you how odd things can happen. So I was doing all right. There's not that many people in my race, actually. And so, but there was this one young lady, Angela, who was doing well, moving faster than I was. And about 20 miles in, my body was just really aching. I guess the 238 miles from last weekend were showing. So I went to power walk mode and was just doing 15, 16-minute miles. And every time we'd cross paths, she gained a little bit more on me,
Yeah.
to where she was like probably 4 miles ahead of me. And I thought, man, and I think that she's the one that I looked up. I think she's the one who's done some decent hundreds. I think she did a sub 20 hundred just earlier this year or late last year. So she's got some credentials behind her, never more than 100 miles. But it's funny how things turn. She was 4 miles ahead of me. And then at one point, it seemed like, hey, she's not as far ahead of me. When I crossed paths with her, I noticed she switched from shoes to, how you doing? Shoes to those like Luna sandals.
Yeah.
And she was walking. And then I got kind of like a second wind and started doing 11:30 miles for, a good distance. And this last turnaround, I passed her up, but I think she's coming up on my tail here in a little bit. But still, it's quite a difference. 4 miles, within a couple hours. But looks like she might have a second win here, and she might be passing me shortly. But so we might be trading off all night long on the lead. Who knows?
Well, it's just funny to me. I just was thinking, like, because you're at what hour right now?
10 and a half, I think.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, 12. I think we're coming up to 12 now.
Yeah. But it's just funny to me. It's funny to me that you're racing it, especially with all your experience, so early in the race. I mean, to me, I wouldn't even be thinking about it till 24 hour, 36 hour, because that's kind of what happened to you last week. Was I think you jumped in and started race mode way too soon, and the guy that got you was just sitting back there smiling like the Cheshire cat, going, "Yeah, Ed, you go play those games with those boys, and I'm just gonna chill back here and watch you implode." He kind of did the what the Jester usually does. When we've been talking lately, or maybe you've always been this way, and I've just never really noticed that you just kind of go from the gun. Is that always how you've been? Because I don't usually talk to you in the beginning because you are moving along.
Pretty much, although I don't go as hard as other people do. But I actually, when I picked up my pace, it wasn't per se for racing. It was just my body just felt like, hey, I feel good. and just felt good to get some miles in. So
no, it's just interesting because we've been having the conversations during your race and how you're kind of really aware of where people are in the first lap of the race.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not even on lap one. So I was just kind of, yeah, it's just because as you well know, 48 hours is a long time.
It is. Yeah, we're only 12 hours in, so I think I'm at like mile 51 or 52 now. So
Good.
Yeah, feeling pretty good. So as you can see, here's the course. There's the Jester shadow right there.
Yeah.
But here's the course. The whole thing is like this. What's really cool though is we're out in Midwestern farm country, so there's cornfields all around.
Yeah.
And what's weird, I've never seen this before, is they're all dry in different stages. And I thought, wow, did they all die? But I guess it's seed corn, so they're letting them dry out, and then they harvest them. So up here, this has been really fun to watch, this big corn silo. So what happens is they come in and they dump it at one point, and then at another point they're dumping it into other trucks. So what happens, here's one coming in right now. I guess this is coming in to dump. So they dump at the bottom. Looks like it's like they're pooping corn, and there's a grate that it all goes into, and then it comes out from above to the trucks are loading up. Hey, Jordan. So I don't know. So like this guy here, it's wet corn only. So I guess that's like freshly harvested. And then you can see the other one, it said dry corn, where they're picking it up. Okay, so let me get up here. So there's the truck. They're not dumping it in, but right where that is sitting. Oh, so he's dumping it. You can see it coming out from the side there. Now this one as well. You can see it barely underneath. The brick just covered it around here. The wheels are covering it, but you can see corn coming out from the bottom. It just amuses me. I don't know. It's probably it's just boring, but to me it's like it's fun to come and see corn getting dumped and corn going out. So here's there's like all around there's all these dry cornfields, but again I guess it's seed corn, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, we're two Southern California guys now, so farming stuff fascinates us, even though I am in farm country, but I'm in Bakersfield. I don't go out into the farm zone. So it's just is it basically just a straight shot course then? 4 miles straight?
Say that again?
Is the course just straight 4 miles pretty much?
Yeah. What you see, the whole thing is like this. It's like straight.
Oh gosh.
I don't mind it actually. To me, it's because there's lots of scenery.
And you won't get lost.
No, exactly. Like Scotty said, the only way you're going to get lost is if you're being stupid.
Yeah.
It's only at the ends. At the two ends, it does come off the course.
Yeah.
So if you're not paying attention, but once you've done it a time or two, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
So over there's a cemetery we keep passing, but no, it's pretty cool. But then every so often we'll cross the street, and then I look at the street, and it's like, oh my God, I wish I was running on that, because it's like just beautiful countryside, like you see in pictures, where these farm roads are going on forever, and they got a little bit of undulation on those, because this is a rails the trail. It's like as flat as a pancake, which I don't mind. I'm okay with that. But so at some point, kind of wish we get off and get onto those roads. But I'm okay with it. This works fine for me. It's got a lot of canopy, and they're telling me that at night you have to have a light. But I'm thinking, okay, there's no trip hazards whatsoever. It's as smooth as can be. And even at night, you know how this will show up a little bit whitish, at night you'll see the trail.
Oh yeah.
I'm not too concerned. I don't know. I'll probably do a loop or two and see if I can do it without a light.
Yeah. Speaking of trails, Moab 240 started yesterday.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. And I didn't look at it before I left the house, but yeah, they had almost 200 runners starting.
Wow.
They went off in waves.
Wow.
Like every 15 minutes. They started at 6 a.m. and every 15 minutes, and the elites left at 7.
Huh.
And
wow.
that Michael Gragula, I don't know.
Yeah.
Him and Goggins were kind of going back and forth for the first 24 hours, but last I looked, he kind of left Goggins. There isn't really a very strong field. It's like him and Goggins, after 24 hours, they were like 10 miles ahead of third place.
Wow.
So, yeah, and
then didn't Goggins one of the 200s last year?
It was Moab.
And he went to the hospital or something, but came back and finished it on his own or something like that?
Yeah, it was Moab last year. He was out there and he was being crazy and doing his usual thing. And like we were saying before about when you do search engines, he pops up. And it was funny. This morning doing a little podcast and I tweet, I searched hashtag Moab 240 and he's the only person that comes up. Yeah. And it's all people talking about him.
Yeah.
But
see, that guy, he has done his social media right as far as a runner goes, because look at this. And more power to him. More power to him. If anything, I'm envious. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So he's done, as far as I can tell, 1900s. I've done 190 hundreds. He's won 2. I won 52. Now he's done some tough hundreds that I haven't done. Grant him that. But Badwaters, he's attempted 4, finished 3. I've gone 9 for 9. Now I'm not trying to, compare body parts, but I'm just saying. I'm saying the guy has really done the smart thing in his social media because he's got huge presence. Now, then again, I mean, look at the guy. He looks like an Adonis. I mean, he's built like a Marine, and he's. I guess for ladies, he would be eye candy, and I'm
that's not his fan base. His fan base are a bunch of boys.
Yeah, I guess so. Because he calls it tough, but and I listen to his stuff, and he's got a pretty good message. I mean, with different people. It wouldn't be my message, of course, because he's like, do it until you're dead, and I don't do things that way. But still, he's got a good solid following, and
hey, you guys both have shaved. You both have shaved heads.
Yeah,
and you're both pretty large guys. You're both. I think he seems like he's a 6 foot something. Yeah. So you're kind of you're the vanilla version of him, really. And you're just the pale.
I appreciate that, but that's given me a lot more compliment than I deserve. I mean, I think.
No, you should like at Javelina. You should go out there, see what he's wearing at like Moab, and go out and run a lap as David Goggins. No, seriously. You got the shaved head. You got a similar build. You guys are both.
In this day and age, if I did that, do you know what kind of backlash I would get? Like,
no. You're not gonna bronze yourself. No.
Right. Okay.
No. Yeah. I'm not asking you to go in blackface or brownface.
There we go.
That would be suicide.
Exactly.
No, you're just gonna go. It'd be hilarious. You just go as David Goggins.
Yeah. That would be funny.
Well, remember years ago that one guy who looks like me, who he went as a Javelina? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
He looked like me, and he went as Catra.
What? I don't remember that.
Yeah, you might not. I don't think you were there that year. I was there. Yeah, he had it nailed. He got the skirts.
Wow.
And the tattoos, and he had a stuffed dog, a stuffed Truman. And,
wow.
But he didn't shave the beard.
They do have a contest.
I know.
A costume contest. So I wonder, because Catra in 2010, she won for female, I won for male. So I wonder if he won costume contest going as Catra, because she's
he did.
Atlanta.
Oh, he did. Oh yeah, he did.
Because she's done
I mean,
Javelina probably, well, at
almost
least
every
10
time.
times, maybe
Yeah.
12.
Yeah. So no, he went. It was pretty
Good job.
entertaining. So
We're
that's
doing a
what I was saying.
podcast. That's any noise. All right.
So I thought that was. Oh no, like I mean, it's gotten so crazy that you know how bodybuilders get the spray tan so you can show off their definition.
Right.
You know what? You know what they're doing now? They used to just spray tan themselves, kind of like our dear president spray tanning himself orange.
Yeah.
They used to just tan completely, the body and the face, so the face match.
Yeah.
Now they're not. Now they don't tan the face
Oh,
to stay out of trouble.
okay. Interesting.
So you got someone like you up there who looks like Casper the Friendly Ghost from the shoulders up, and then you're this bronze god from below, and it looks absolutely ridiculous. But that's so you don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna find the Dave Goggins photos. I think you could go as Dave Goggins. You know, you just run a lap in like shorts and no shirt. You got the shaved head. And
Right.
Now, one of the things I was going to ask you. What's that? Oh, go ahead.
The thing I need to do is wear a bodysuit with some muscle in it because I have no upper body muscle. So, I'd have to wear a fake muscle suit.
Well, or you could just draw in abs with a marker.
Okay.
You could like make abs with a marker.
There we go.
Speaking of that, I've noticed in pictures you haven't been wearing your trademark tights lately.
No, I haven't. In fact, Diane Durden's out here, and we haven't seen each other for a couple of years. And she said, I didn't recognize you without the white tights. So, yeah, I'll tell you part of the reason why I haven't been is because of all these humid races. And it's like, you don't want anything extra on. Now that I'm in a race where it's kind of a cooler temperature, it's like, ooh, I wish I had my tights now. So I think it's best, it's time for me to go back to my tights through the winter.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more the tights also, like in California where it's a dry heat, it's no big deal. But there, those things get wet, and then you're just carrying around all that wet, moist look.
Exactly.
No, I just thought I just noticed a picture where you've been wearing the surfer shorts and stuff. So,
well, I got rid of the skirt because I just figured I'm 58. I think it's time to get out of that skirt. But I like my surfer shorts because it says California. Plus, these are colorful. So and they're super thin and lightweight and comfortable. So they work.
Do you know what company they are?
It's whatever this logo is here. It's a popular surfer. I don't think of the name right now, but it's a real popular one.
Yeah, no, I was just kind of like, maybe you can get a hold of them. Like, there's those bird shorts that the surfers wear that they advertise on podcasts all the time. Yeah. But they're the red bird shorts.
Okay.
And stuff like that. In fact, I'm wearing a new pair of shorts right now.
This is one of the surfer companies I think came about in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. Like OP, Ocean Pacific.
Yeah. It's not that, but it's one of those. Yeah. Just like that same time frame. So, yeah.
Yeah. It was all close. It was all, that was all gear that Hang 10. Yeah. You know what it is? That was all gear that I'd never had, and you probably didn't either because we both grew up without any money. Yeah. I didn't have any of those clothing.
No.
I didn't wear, I got I wore the Sears jeans. I didn't have OP.
Because I grew up foster care, my parents went shopping at the secondhand store, so I never had, forget brand name, I never had even new growing up.
Well, my parents didn't have an excuse. They just didn't buy me. I mean, we didn't. You know what happened with me? I started shopping at the secondhand store for myself, just because what they were buying me was such crap. I mean, they would buy me like J.C. Penney's pants, jeans. You don't want to get caught dead. And so I'd go to the thrift store, and good thing punk rock happened. So we would buy, clothes and peg them and make them our own. So it's like, I didn't own any of that. Like my dad, like $20 for a shirt. You gotta be kidding. What do you think? Money grows. What do you think? Money grows on trees?
Yeah.
Like in fact, I always work. I've had a job since I was 10, or younger, 10 when I had a paper route. But
Yeah.
like my dad would be like, oh, you don't need those good, Adidas, Nike. Let's go here and get you Payless shoes. Cleats and Payless. It's like, no, they're people, they would fall apart after 2 games or something. So anyways, but I digress, but it's just kind of funny. So, excuse me. So you ended up, it seems like a million years ago, you finished the 72-hour race and came home when?
Let's see, Monday night, I believe. Was it, or Sunday? No, Sunday, because it started. It started on Thursday, went to Sunday morning, so I came home Sunday night. Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you end up working and stuff?
Yeah. Ended up, trying to catch up with work during the week, and squeezed in as much as I could. And then for this one, of course, left Friday morning, and I'll get back. This goes till Monday morning. Monday's a, quasi-holiday, Columbus Day. So I'll get back Monday night and then work. And then my next race, 48-hour race, starts on Friday in Alabama. So I fly out Thursday. So it's a short recovery week coming up this week.
Yeah, that's why I was figuring. And it was funny. I don't know how to go to my text messages. Let's see if I can do it. I don't think I know how to. I don't think I do. But anyways, your message, because you sent it with Siri, it was, I feel beat up for my 238-mile race, which is what you said. But what the text said was something kind of, it was like, it was a tumor.
It said tumor. 38, and I saw it because I did it through Siri, and I saw it, and I was going to correct it. I thought, you know what? You'll know. And you'll know I'm talking about 238. So,
but it was still just funny.
Tumor 30. Yeah, my tumor 38 race. Yeah.
So you did that, and heck, you basically did a Moab in only 72 hours.
Yeah, but not with all the Moab climb and all the technical and all that stuff. I did it with a simple 1 mile loop.
Yeah, before I left the house, I was messing around. I've been really getting on to myself on YouTube, not really a fan of, but there's so much on YouTube, and some guy did like a 45-minute documentary of his Moab experience. And oh my gosh, that trail is pretty crazy. It looks hard.
Well, I've got my Cactus Rose 150 coming up in 2 weekends, and so which is certainly not the same as Moab, but it'll give me a feel of 150 on a trail that they say is technical. It doesn't have a whole lot of up and down, but some technical stuff on it. So maybe after doing that, I might go, okay, maybe I'll go with one of these 200 trails. I don't know. I'm not really a trail guy so much, but.
Well, we talked about that Texas race, and I think you're going to have your eyes open on that course.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot harder.
Yeah, probably.
But, I was looking at this Moab, and Carla's out there doing it. And, I paced her, crewed her at Tahoe. And Tahoe 200, that's a very doable 200. I tell people all the time, like, I can even run out there in the middle of the night. It's not super technical, and it's just very well laid out. But this Moab, I was looking at it, and it's just, it looks like San Diego, but worse.
Oh,
boy. Like the worst parts of San Diego, everything I saw, like, it never, like, he's obviously not showing the entire race, but every time he would show himself walking around or trying to run, you look at the trail and be like, there's not a smooth part on here. Like, like it's just rocks, and it's orange, it's that red dirt.
Yeah.
So I was like, cross that off my list of ever doing, and or maybe even crewing and pacing. Plus the problem with that race is it's so remote. I mean, Carla one time talked to me about going out there, but like from Bakersfield, it's like 15-hour drive to get out there. And so Sean Nakamura's out there doing it. And of course, Sean is famous for that race because Courtney beat him by 10 hours. because
Courtney's not out there this time, huh?
No, she'd be winning it. Yeah, Courtney, when she was on Rogan, and Rogan was hilarious because he's like, you beat second place by 10 hours, 20 miles. And he's like, that dude is sitting in LA traffic or whatever going, God damn, I got beat by 10 hours.
Yeah, by a chick.
Yeah. I just did a podcast on some article from some magazine talking about women in ultras. And the thing is, you got to realize that in the ultra world, especially the longer the race, there's not a lot of women. So the women who do show up are really good. And
right.
So, but the men who show up, not necessarily the cream of the crop. There might be one or two good guys, and then there's the best women in the world, like Camille or Marissa or he's some of the best in the United States. So it's not really a comparison. But if you still look at the raw numbers, men are still 10% faster, and it's just because we're bigger, got more lung capacity, got more red blood cells, and blah, blah, blah. When it gets really, really long, other factors come in, but Courtney, no, the only woman that I recognized her name's Denise Barassa. She's a tiny little thing, but she goes by like tiny. You'd know who, if you saw a picture, her, a little blonde. She's done well, I think, in trail hundreds. Lives in New York now, and she's the only person, but she was like in third or fourth woman, but that of course was only at 100 plus miles. So when I get home, I'll look at that. And then Catra's out there doing her thing. Carla's behind her a bit. Carla's not really a trail person, obviously. Right. And Carla can't see. That's one of the problems. She needs glasses. And so she's out there. And it was funny, like when we were doing the Tahoe 200, I did 80 miles of the course with her. And like on the second night, I was like, you got the crappiest headlamp I've ever seen in my life, and you can't see. So I made her use my headlamp the rest of the race. And it made a huge difference. But
crazy girl.
You signed up for Tahoe one time, but you ended up not showing up.
I did, yeah. Signed up, and then it's like there's Tahoe, 6 days in the Dome.
That's right.
What ends up happening is, I'm a working stiff, and I could take a weekend off and a day on maybe either side, but taking a whole week off is really tough. For I have to look at how much money am I going to lose. And sometimes, even though I've already paid a race fee, it's like, you know what? I'm better off just forfeiting the race fee and staying home working and making up for the fee and make some extra income. Especially if you consider my travel expense, I'll save that. So that happens sometimes. I have to weigh out. All right, race, work, family. And if I didn't have a job, then I could do this stuff full time and not worry about it. But and I have a family. I will, try and keep my wife happy and not do too many of these, like 5 in a row type of a thing. So I can get away with that every so often. But so I ended up not going out. And
I just remember seeing you on the list, and I was like, wow, Ed's going to run a trail 200. That was before I knew how easy it was. I mean, it's an ideal race for someone like you, obviously, because like I could run. I never on the course except for that one incredible hill, which was insane. That was.
What about there's that area they call the Rubicon? Isn't that pretty bad?
Yeah, I've been able to avoid having to do that part, and it's usually the beginning of the race, the first 60 miles.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago when I went out there for the 5th anniversary, they had him do it in reverse, which was horrible because I was so confused. I was almost wish I hadn't been there before. And the Rubicon, it's where like guys ride their Jeeps 2-3 miles an hour and fall over and stuff.
Right.
In fact, the Jeep, they have a Jeep called Rubicon. And it's lots of rocks, but they're big rocks. You just have to go around them. And the path is wide because Jeeps go on it, but you're going up and over boulders. And then it's also got this moon dust. It's like, because so much is going through there. So it's really dusty, but it's only maybe 4 or 5 miles. Like the lady I helped pace and crew 2 years ago, she's a mountaineer. I mean, she's done like 4 or 5 of the highest summits in the world. She's trying to do the 7 summits. So her and rocks were no big deal. She has a small little thing, but like to get to all these mountains, you've got to climb over all, the trails to these mountains are not exactly easy. So for her, the trail part of the race was no big deal.
Yeah.
She had other issues, but yeah. And then there's this one insane hill. It was so funny. I'm with Carla, and I crewed and paced her without anybody else. I was like bumming rides. I was bumming rides back to my car and stuff. I was like doing the night versions, and the aid stations, are 20 miles apart. So we would leave an aid station like at 9 at night and not get to the next one until 6 in the morning. So that was like the second or third night. We're like mile 140, and we'd actually drop down into Tahoe. We're going through Billionaire Row, where all the rich people live. It's this nice bike path. And then we'd heard people going, oh my God, there's this hill at 140 miles. And of course, neither of us really read the map or anything. And we're going through this neighborhood, and all of a sudden we see this sign, and it was just straight up for a mile. It just followed the power line through the forest. And I'm trying to think of something that we both done that it was that steep, but it was like how bad and steep it is the last part of Baldy if you do the backside trail. It was just hands on your knees, take 7 or 8 steps, hold on to your poles. And it took us like an hour and 20 minutes to go a mile.
Wow.
And I remember so that was hard. That was kind of crazy.
So here comes this is the last man standing group. So you'll see a whole bunch of them come through at once. So, all right, good work. Way to go.
How far are you to
the turn?
How far? Yeah.
Probably about a mile and a quarter, maybe a mile and a half. All right, so that was 1, 2. We'll see. I think there were 19 or 20 in the race. So that's 1, 2. Good work, guys. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
7. Good job. Nice work. 8, 9. So they're interesting at this one. Nice work, man. They actually want you to be masked up every time you come into the 2 aid stations. Other places haven't really reinforced that, but this one's pretty big on that. So, all right.
Well, it's interesting when you're
9.
doing
Moving on. 10. I think that was 10.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
11. Good work. All right, thank you.
Well, it's interesting. People say that the best strategy for those races is to do a lap in about 48 to 50 minutes. It's not too fast that it wipes you out, but it gives you enough time.
12, 13, 14. Good job.
But if you go too fast, it's too fast.
Yeah. What the heck? Some weird animal sound. Just heard there. Don't know if you heard that. It's like must have been a bullfrog or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see Diane Durden up ahead. We'll chat with her a little bit.
Well, here we had motorcycle riding on our bike path.
Oh, boy.
It's like Mad Max out here lately. No police enforcement at all. There's cars driving on our bike path. And
wow.
Kinds of crazy. Yeah. Well, this guy has a...
nice work. All right, way to go. I think that was 14 or 15 right there.
Yeah, it sounds like they still got quite a few.
Yeah.
They're
footbridge here. I think this is, so they started an hour later than, I started at 6. They started at 7.
Yeah.
So at this point, I still have about a loop and a half ahead of all of them just because I started before they did. Plus, they have to stop, and I can keep going. But at some point, I'm going to take a break, and they'll catch up and pass me up, those who are still in it. So, but yeah, they're moving along. I think here comes number 15, maybe. He might be the last of the group coming up here.
So, so did the Chicagoan give you a ride there?
Yeah. So what happened? Nice work, man. So my buddy Eugene Brookert, who broke the last week and 3 days of the fair, he broke the 85 to 89 age record for 100 mile. I don't know if it was American or world. American, obviously, at least, but could have even been world. I don't know. But anyway, 50 hours. So he lives in, I think it's called Arlington Heights. It's close to Chicago, like just outside of Chicago, and about maybe 15, 20 miles from the airport. So last weekend I talked to him, and he said, hey, I said, yeah, I'm looking, I got to get a ride. It's 2 hours away from Chicago. And he said, well, I'll pick you up and take you there. It's like, wow, that'd be awesome. So he got back from the 3 days of the fair, wasn't feeling so good, got a COVID test because he's 85, got a COVID test, and the results weren't going to be in until Monday. So he decided, you know what, why don't you just use my car? And so he's got his car. It's pretty sweet the way it's set up. He's got it's a little Ford Focus, but he's got kind of a foam padding and a sleeping bag in back with the seat down. And so it's real comfortable. I slept in it last night, and, certainly a lot more comfortable than what I slept on last weekend. So anyway, he said, take my car, drive out there, and I'll see you Monday morning. So, pretty cool to have friends like that, you show up and then he's like, oh, and don't put gas in it. It's like, no, I want to fill it up with the gas when I bring it back. He said, no, don't put any gas in it. Just go take it. So, hey, Dan, doing a podcast with Andy.
Hey, Andy, how's it going?
Good.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm just out here walking while you guys are walking. Talking to Ed.
Keep it company.
Yeah.
And
it's been a while.
Diane's sister lives like real close to here, so she came out and stayed with her.
Yeah, and she's gonna volunteer. I think she's coming out later tonight.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, looks like you're gonna get dark there pretty soon.
Yeah, it's getting there. Getting there.
And so you're at how many miles then? 54 or so?
I think when I come into the turn up here, it'll be 55, 56-ish, something like that. I'm not quite sure with the mileage, what it is. It's, again,
probably
4.2
per
loop and whatever.
Yeah, it's not quite 4.2. It's like 4.15. So it's probably like 8.3 miles every lap.
Nice work.
So that'd be good too. And what's your plan on? Are you going to take a break, or are you just going to motor along? Most of the night?
I'm going to just let my body dictate right now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really good. And even with us talking and doing my walk run, I just did a 13 mile.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's a good, it's a real good mile for being, 55 miles into it. And I'm feeling, it's not like I was pushing for it. I was just going easy. So, it's one of those things, make hay while the sun shines. As long as my body's letting me do this kind of a pace, there's no sense in shutting it down. But once I start to slow down and get to where I'm doing anything above a 16-minute mile, I'm probably going to say, okay, time to take a bit of a break and get some sleep and let my body recover. As we talked about this before, the break is double benefit. The sleep benefits the mind, the rest benefits the body. So, if my body's just going real slow, it's time to give the body that break. But the thing I'm finding is when the weather is cooler, I'm actually able to, well, I guess it's the same with everybody, pick it up a bit. But it used to be that, the heat didn't really affect me so much. And even though it didn't get that warm here, just because with my my adrenal fatigue, I feel really much more, I don't get overheated, but it really slows me down when it gets a little bit warm. And then when it cools down, it's like, oh, I got a little bit of speed back. So, you know, I'll take advantage of that and run through the night where I can. But I'll probably at hour 16 or 18, take a break, unless I'm moving really well. But take a break just because I'd rather stay on top of it. Not because here's the thing. If I'm doing a mile loop and I start to go slow, all right, finish the loop and I've got my bed. If here, I get started out, let's say where my car is, I get started out in a mile or two, I start going slow. Well, it'll be 6 miles before I get back to my car. So I'd rather preemptively take a rest.
I know that so well when I did your Friday world record run on that 5K loop. Yeah. And that was the most brutal race because I wasn't seeing anybody because there was only like 12 of us out there. Right. And I remember like at 2 a.m, you know, you'd leave and be like, okay, I'm not coming back for like over an hour. Well, yours is 8 miles, which is even worse. But I remember I was out there at 2 a.m. going, I got 10 more laps around this thing. Oh my God, I'm not gonna be done till noon. And it just was so crushing because you know, I was like Neptune and you were like Venus. So you were going around a little faster, but I was still only seeing you like every 4 or 5 hours. Right. It's just, like, there's nothing worse than doing 100 miles by yourself. And that was a tough loop. That was a hard loop. Yeah. You know, and the problem is, what's that?
I was just going to say, you know, because I did 2 there. So that second day, man, having you out there and Shauna, boy, you guys just saved my bacon because I was just sleepwalking and could barely stay awake. And you guys joined up with me. We were going super slow, but we were getting the miles done. So so I didn't realize this course because I'm kind of glad I didn't come do it because it sounds horrible to me doing 4 miles out, 4 miles back. Ooh. Yeah, it's just I'm enjoying it more now. Earlier it was like, it's getting a bit long between them, but you know, knocking out 13, 14-minute miles, you know. Yeah. Well, yeah. I get to each end in about, 50 minutes, you know. Yeah. So it's not so bad.
Yeah. Oh, no, I get it. But like I said, for me, I like mile loops. 2 mile loops are okay. Anything over 2 miles, and it's just, you know, because when you're moving, like I'm actually out here walking right now, Ed, and I'm only average 19:30 pace walking and talking. I don't know how you do it. And I did do a fast 10K this morning. Was like my 4th best 10K walk this year. Actually, nice. But I'm super slow. But I'm like, but yeah, just an 8 mile with so few people out there. You're definitely going to have an adventure. And what's your goal is 150, right?
No, you know what? If I get 162 added to my 238, that gives me 400 miles. And that means to hit my 800, I only have to do 150 next weekend. And then, of course, the last 2 races are actually 150 and 100. But if I can get 162, that gives me a little bit of a cushion. And I'll still be able to get my 800. So we'll see. I mean, the minimum I want is 150 or even 156. But if I can hit 162, and then anything beyond that is just gravy.
You and your speaking of mileage, you need to get on Chase the Jester, Ed. You haven't updated your miles. You need to get on your Chase the Jester.
Oh, I know. I finished that so long ago, and I haven't updated it. Yeah.
And someone wrote me yesterday going, "Hey, I just passed Ed. I don't think that should have happened." I was like, no.
Okay. Well, Andy, I've got to apologize to you because you finished it at least a week or 2 ago. And here's here's how this works. So my daughter, when someone finishes,
I got an email. Yeah.
Did she tell you that I'm holding it up? Because she sends out the medals to everybody. Yeah. But because, you know, she knows, you know, that we've got a special friendship, she wanted to have me write a personal note to you, and she put it on my desk a week ago. And so that's why you haven't gotten it, because I haven't written the personal note. She should have just sent it, but she wanted to, give me the opportunity. So I apologize. It's ready to go. I'm the one that's holding it up, not Andrea.
Well, no, but like I was saying, so get on. Well, maybe post your miles, because like I said, someone wrote me, and I was like, no, I've been talking to Ed every weekend, and he just did 238 miles or whatever. So I think he's probably finished. I'm like, if I finished a couple weeks ago, and I myself am trying to up the mileage. You know what's really interesting is, Desi Linden.
All right, Amanda,
right?
good work. What's that?
You know Desi Linden is?
Desi Linden is.
Des Linden. She's our Olympic marathoner. Well, she actually came in 4th this year in the trials. But she won Boston a few years ago when it was really raining. She's a good racer, but when it was pouring down rain, she survived everybody. So she's in one of our elite.
Yeah. I know you're talking about,
Yeah. She's doing something for October, which I thought was kind of crazy, and it's kind of up your. She's stealing your game almost. She, in a way, well, not really, but she's doing the mile for the day, but you up it. So day 1 you do 1. Day 15 you do 15.
Yeah.
She's doing it for the whole month of October.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy, because I've done it for February, because February is a short month, thank God.
Sure.
Well, October's got 31 days.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be 491 miles, and the final week is like 193 miles.
Oh, jeez.
Which for an Olympic marathoner like her.
Yeah, but she'll knock out her 31 miles. She'll knock it out in 4 hours. So,
well, but I mean, but it's something she's never done before. She runs like between 100, 120 miles a week. But she'll be like, I do. She goes, I do 12 in the morning, and 10 to 12 in the morning, and 5 or 6 in the evening. But she's like, I'll be good till like the middle of the month. But then after the middle of the month, she's like, so I was like going, I've done. I did 9 miles yesterday, so I'm on pace to do it. So I was thinking, I should try and do it. But all I know is when you get to like that,
this is one of my favorite parts of the course, just because it's unique with the rocks and. It's pretty cool. It's getting dark right now, but when it's lighter, it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I can see it. It just kind of moves around all herky jerky. So so I'm thinking of trying to do it myself, but the problem is, once you get to like in the 20 range, going out there and doing 21, 22, 23, it starts. And because I only walk, it takes me, 24 miles takes me 8 hours. So I'm kind of like so. But it was kind of interesting that she was doing that. I was quite like going, wow. So she's gonna do 193 miles. If I do it, can I get $1? You take credit cards? I don't have any money on me. He was like, if I do a trick, can I get a? He's out on the bike path. He's
one of your local residents there.
Yeah, we have a skate park that's there up the street that I helped get built, actually.
Oh, cool.
We have 3 or 4 skate parks now. So he's on one of those scooter things.
Yeah.
I guess he sees like I'm talking or doing a video. And actually, I did record him doing the trick, but I didn't give him the buck.
Poor guy.
He's like some 16-year-old kid. Problem is, around here, when they're saying a trick, you kind of have to go, as a trick,
Yeah.
He like, are you propositioning me?
I see. Yeah.
No, I mean, my bike path is awesome. It's 15 miles long. The thing is, today I headed out east from my house, and you head east, and it's like, it's a urban outdoorsman land. I mean, I would never let my wife head east. And also later in the day, they all coming home from work. Well, not really work, but so like in the evening, they're all coming back to their encampments along the river and the, BPD. It's really funny that Bakersfield is super right-wing conservative, law and order.
Yeah.
But out here on the bike path, it's total Mad Max. I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
they don't enforce shit. There's so many encampments, and there's like, I call in a fire at least once or twice, a couple times a month that gets out of control. But if you head west, it's like more civilization and nicer parks and stuff. But you head the way I just went, it's like, well, like earlier in the thing, I was like, no, because there was two big, large urban outdoorsman pit bulls running towards me. I mean, granted, 40 years, I've never been bit, knock on wood. Or never been assaulted. Yeah. Sometimes it pays to be a big ugly dude. Like they all know me. They basically these kids were actually not that they were transients. They're skating over to the park and for like, hey, for $1. But anyway, so very strange.
Here's where we get off the path. See, this is where I was looking down there going, wow, that's beautiful. That country road that meanders and so then we come up here. So you'll see the Dot. It's this little tavern, but we're in this teeny little town, and so it's really a converted house. You'll see it's like up here just a few yards, and if you didn't know it was a tavern, you'd just go right by it. But it's been around here for a lot of, I guess 1948 was when it was established. So it's been around here. So
you have to get a drink.
Yeah, right. So now I don't even know where. See that's it. Apparently that this house right here. That's the Dot Tavern, but I don't know where you enter and see Dot's Tavern. But there it is. It's like a house to me. I don't know where the tavern is. Maybe it's downstairs. I'm thinking maybe it's downstairs. I don't know.
Well, they're probably outdoors now. Well, it's not open because of COVID.
Oh, it's downstairs over. She said over on that side downstairs.
Yeah.
So, okay. All righty. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
And so this is your big aid station.
Yeah. So here's our tilt board. So I just came in the lead, but Angel's like right behind me, so she's right there. How are we doing with the last man standing? There is
all but one.
All but one.
Yeah.
So there's the last man standing. So looks like they had 21. So 20 went back out. Yeah. One guy. So they're still doing strong. And for 48, so I just got whatever loop that is. Doesn't have the mileage on it, so it's. And this is the loop at this end. So they only do it every 8.4 versus the loop at the other end, same thing. So anyway, all right. So
I will take some tomato soup.
I don't think she got here. I think it was Angela, maybe.
Yeah, I thought.
Was it Angela?
I was gonna say, I just thought it was Angela.
Yeah, we need to mark her in.
So
you got her already?
I don't have Angela yet.
If you have an extra cup, I think I'm gonna grab some Coke here and a couple of S-caps.
You got Ed in already?
Yeah.
Okay. And
I got both.
I didn't catch your name.
I got her.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So this is our handy aid station. There's our little porta potty over there, and
nice.
And Coke and.
Not quite. But
Yeah, if it's not cold, it's better.
I'm okay.
All righty.
Well, it's definitely, except for the aid stations, a socially distant race. Because the aid stations are.
I think
It's pretty nice. Got
you do.
different candy selections and some pretzels and some salts over here, sweets over there, some fruit, Fireball. Yeah. Okay. For those who are so inclined.
I know. So there's a meme saying like, "Mommy, there's a meme saying, why do your candles smell like Fireball?" And it's like, "Hey, honey, that's cinnamon, not Fireball."
Right. How's the kid know about what And those fireballs smell over cinnamon smell. Yeah.
By the time you get back here, we'll have
Yeah.
Get me some.
Well, did you hear the joke I said?
The
Where?
kid with the candles.
Well, no, the wife's like, the husband's like, hey, why does your candles smell like Fireball? And the wife's like, honey, that's cinnamon. not
It was
Fireball.
I thought you said it was the kids that were saying that.
No. Oh, yeah, the kids, you'd be busting them. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I think of Fireball, I think of Bill Dickey.
Yeah.
In fact, I will see Bill next weekend.
Oh, really? Where?
We're going to be doing that Burro 10-mile race out in Ridgecrest area.
Mm-hmm.
And so he'll be out there. And because I haven't seen Bill in some time.
Hey.
This is Andy Noyes. We're doing a podcast right now.
Oh my God, really?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
You know that Ed's doing amazing? He's doing amazing.
But Andrew's doing amazing too. We're tied right now, so.
Yeah, officially.
Good work.
Yeah, only 36 hours ago.
Right. Yeah.
You won.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you in a couple hours. All right.
Well,
so I'm going to see for this bar. I guess. So I guess they go in here and go downstairs.
Yeah.
So there's where the bar is. So that is actually a residence right there. So interesting.
Well, you know, this reminds me of like when I was in Tennessee for the Race for the Ages. It's in a small town that I can't remember the name of right now.
Yeah.
But there's a famous burger joint there that basically looks like a house, and it's been around since the 30s or 40s, and super good burgers. But it was like a burger with an egg, a fried egg, and all this. In fact, I think they had the banana burger there, where they threw a banana on it or something, some crazy shit. So, looks like you'll be heading out for the dark this time around, though.
Yeah, it'll probably get dark before I get into the next one, but we had a full. No way. No, full moon's not till the end of the month. So yeah, we were like
There's
moon.
half. There was like half this morning because last weekend you had a big moon, I think. I was out this morning and there was some moon. So, but yeah, like I said, you can't get. It's pretty easy course.
Yeah, last week was full moon because I'll get 2 full moons in October for my races.
Yeah.
One last weekend and Javelina. So, you heard, of course, that officially ATY canceled, right?
Yeah.
So
they're this month, October, you're gonna have a blue moon. When you get 2 full moons in a month, it's called a blue moon.
Exactly. Yeah.
So exactly. I talked to Yolanda the other day, and she was asking me about. She'd heard that ATY was canceled, and she's looking to do a race. And so I told her, well, they're doing Javelina, and there are actually spots available at Javelina.
Wow.
Well, because you can start like on Thursday.
Yeah.
And stuff. So
yeah.
So she might do that, and I told her, she's just kind of looking around for races because hopefully in 2021 she's gotten invited to go to that 6-day in Paris. That actually has an official race walking division like they did when they did it at the Dome, where there'll be a judge, so she can actually, not that she doesn't run anyways in those things, but she can get an official walking 6 days. So she's really hoping that happens, but who knows? We still don't really know what's going on with all of this. So anyways, but not much else happening. The good thing is the air quality's gotten better here in Bakersfield. I think our fires have calmed down a little bit. It's crazy. All the trails are closed. Like if you want to get a permit to go hiking in the mountains, everything's closed till December 1st. They basically are completely closed because so many fires. They basically closed all of our trails. So you're not doing no one's doing any hiking. Granted, like in a couple weeks it gets snowy and you can't go out anyways. But usually, like I took a friend in October and we had a beautiful day at Whitney. So yeah, the trails. But and thankfully it's only like 80 today. Usually I couldn't be out. Well, I could be, but it's been like 9,500. I don't know how it was with you and down there in LA. So Okay. Anything else going on? And guess just this race and upcoming races. Not much else happening, huh?
No, just got my races lined up.
You didn't add anything, did you?
What's that?
Did you add anything yet?
It's funny that you should ask because I'm looking at one in first week in November because not that I would have done it anyway, but Rio del Lago canceled out. That was the first week in November. But there's a race, a 24-hour race in Florida that I did 2 years ago. A nice little race, nice little loop. And I'm thinking it's called Azalea, 24-hour. So I don't know. I'm thinking I might, when I go out and do that one, make it 600s in a row. So I don't know.
And then take off to the beginning of the year?
Yeah, because Fat Ox is canceled because that's one of Vipa's races. That got canceled. And I still am signed up for the Best of San Diego. So I might do that one. They have it if you go out, you have 10 days to do it.
Yeah.
But if you go out on the first couple of days, they'll actually have some, kind of aid station support. So I think on the 20th. And that was going to be a conflict with Fat Ox, but Fat Ox is canceled. So, it's interesting. Aravaipa, and I understand that Fat Ox would be a small venue.
Yeah.
It's a very small venue, but, they didn't cancel Javelina, but I get it. It spreads out, so that's more manageable. But I'm surprised that they didn't figure something because this 3-day race that I just did, Breeze of the Fair, they had probably I'm guessing a couple hundred people out there.
They had there were a lot of people there.
Yeah, but it could be. Not to be political, but it could be that Aravaipa is more towards that, masking up and, they maybe take a little bit more seriously about the COVID, I don't know, whatever.
Well, like we were saying though, the thing with Aravaipa is so many people travel to that race. I mean, granted, Phoenix has got 12 million people, but it kind of to make it profitable. I'm sure you need to get people traveling to the race. Whereas that New Jersey race, they actually had about the same amount of people they usually have. Not a whole lot of difference. And also, Aravaipa is a multi-million-dollar business. And so you really don't want to piss off the authorities. I mean, because they've got 30 races throughout the year, and those races are bringing in. Well, I mean, 10, 20,000 or something, you just do the math of,
and
they're bringing in.
And they were actually able to do well with the virtual races because I talked to a guy out here in Wisconsin who did one of their virtual events. So they've expanded their reach with their virtual race stuff. So they've actually generated some income from that too. So good for them.
Yeah. Well, I know my friend Scott, he wants to do their virtual 6-day for across the years because they are coming up with stuff like that for it. The Aravaipa type of thing.
Yeah.
So, of course, I told Scott, I said, what you need to do is just put on your own little race. Like that one guy did it. That one guy in Canada did. He actually went and got a track and a timer and went out there and did his 6-day race on his own. And kind of like how the Oklahoma guy said, I could spend $1,500 and do Tahoe, or I could just put on a race. So you could put on your own 6-day in Southern California.
Oh, right. No.
So
that's right. I'll pass.
It'll be good to take some time off and you won't know what to do with yourself.
And that's how I look at it. It'll be forced time off because if they're doing Javelina, if we're doing the class of years, I would probably want to do the 6 to 10 day.
Yeah.
And I really should give my body a break. So this is probably good that they're not doing it. And
then
it'll force me to get some extra recovery time.
Yeah, you were kind of losing you there a bit. So yeah, like I say, we still can't have anything planned for next year, whether you're going to go for the hundreds or you're going to look at going for the 3,100 mile race.
I'm pretty much leaning towards what both you and Martha had said, and that is started in 2022.
Yeah.
Because I turned 60 that summer, so it'd be going from 59 to 60 and started at the beginning of the year instead of, because I was thinking about starting it on my birthday in 2021 in August, but then, it's in partway through the year. So I don't know. I'm thinking that might be a smart thing to do but then again, I'll be older and who knows what kind of condition my body will be in. And I don't know, but so maybe that's what I'll end up doing is doing it for the year of 2022, trying to do the 60.
Well, the problem is that we still don't know what's going on with all this COVID stuff.
Right.
So, because actually, I don't know if you saw it, but I sent you a thing. I guess Wisconsin is off the hook right now with COVID.
Yeah, well, that's why they're, I guess, really making us mask up when we come into the aid stations. But I guess they've really had some issues.
Well, don't push yourself too hard, because Rachel Maddow was doing a thing about the Wisconsin, and there are no hospital beds in Wisconsin for anyone. They've got COVID patients and they can't find them.
Say that again?
There are no hospital beds for anyone in Wisconsin. So you have some sort of issue.
Okay.
Not even they're really sending COVID patients out of state because so much is so small and rural. They just don't have a lot of beds. And that's the whole reason we had the quarantining and stuff. And the masking was to bring down the curve. Well, the curve is just busted out there in Wisconsin. And so you don't want to have any sort of you want to be in a car accident in Wisconsin right now. Because when they bring you to the hospital, they don't really have anywhere to put you.
Yeah.
And so that's the biggest problem. It's getting it's not going to be good for us. Yeah, but it was interesting because I was walking this morning and on the Rachel Maddow, they were talking about how much of a mess it was in Wisconsin. In the back of my head, I was like, and Ed went to Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely be conscious of that. Don't push yourself to the point where though you never have gone to the hospital, but you got to realize that medical services there are going to be very limited, and that's
all right. Good to know.
That's a fact. Rachel Maddow, whatever you want to think of her, she gets her shit down right. She's liberal lefty, but it's pretty crazy that it's really hitting Wisconsin really hard. It's really weird why it's hitting there, but it's so it's but I'm sure you'll be fine. But just be extra careful driving back to the airport.
Yeah, I will.
because that's the problem is it's not more COVID. It's just anyone wants to go to the hospital. There's not enough beds, especially in these small little rural communities. In fact, what's really funny too is I've been watching Fargo. I'm sure you don't have any idea what Fargo is, but it was a movie with the Coen brothers.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, there's a series out, which I kind of knew, but I never watched. There's 4 seasons, and it's basically about murders and mayhem in the Midwest throughout the years. And so right now I'm watching it's 1979, so everybody's in the 70s outfits, but it's all in the area where you are right now with the mob and everybody killing each other. So it's funny, I'm watching it going, so your scenery, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that scenery, Ed. I'm watching Fargo. It's they're in Minnesota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, all that area. So it's very interesting.
Speaking of COVID here in Wisconsin, poor Scott, he has a race that he did in August.
Yeah.
Jeez. It's a 100-mile rails to trails, and he had a 50 and some other races as well. But it was in August. He had 150 people sign up for his 100, and all told, with all the races combined, he had over 600 people. First year race. Now this race, 35 people.
Yeah.
because of COVID. So, yeah, he's hurting, but he still decided to put it on, which is, good for him and gives us something. So,
Yeah, Scott had invited me to that race in August a while back. In fact, I was supposed to be in Chicago this weekend or whatever for the Chicago Marathon, but I didn't. I decided not to go to that, obviously. So, yeah. So sounds good, and hopefully we'll figure things will get a little bit less crazy. We got election in a few weeks, and then things will see how it. A lot of people are saying once that happens, things will start straightening out, because so much of the news just is about trying to scare the pants off everybody too.
Right.
And so right now, like Adam Kroll, who I love, and he's our age, he always says, he goes, wait till the election. And as soon as election, you're going to all of a sudden see a lot of the networks are going to flip their stories. Fox is now saying, oh, it's safe. And MSNBC saying the world's burning down. As soon as the election, if Trump loses, they'll flip the story. So, and then you all wait a minute here. So, not to get all political on it. So, anyways, looks like it's getting dark. It looks like you need to focus on keeping moving, and hopefully you can get some more miles in, right, Ed?
Yeah. I'm feeling good, and so I'll keep moving along and motoring along, and
we'll try.
Go ahead.
Let's try and we'll try and get back together again some other time throughout your race.
Yeah, I'm thinking tomorrow. Maybe around 2:00 my time, which would be about noon for you.
Okay.
Not that it's going to get hot out here, but that would be the warmest part of the day probably. So I'll probably be going a little bit slower, so that'd be a good time. So let's plan on that then.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll be done with my stuff in the morning, so noon will work out for me.
All right.
And so I'll let you go, and have a good time out there, and keep on moving, and you got plenty of time to
get some sleep for me. I'll be getting very little of it.
Yeah, I know. I always feel bad when I'm like, oh, I'm going to bed. Like, I just got done with a 4-mile walk, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of tired now, and and you just keep rolling. So okay. Yeah. So any parting words, Ed?
Just everybody out there, follow your dreams and keep on grinning and grinding. That's what it's all about. I've been listening to Jordan Peterson and some other people, and it's really about just do the work. Whatever you want to do, there's no entitlement. You have to earn your way. So just grind it. Just get out there and do the work that has to be done. And that's like I've got to do right now. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So you could add up everybody's hundreds that are in this race, and I've done more than everybody combined probably. But that doesn't mean that I get any freebies or any extra benefits.
Nope. That's the worst part. That's the worst part about running. That's the worst part about running. Like in a team sport, you can kind of coast on your laurels, like basketball, football. Right. You can just crank it up in the last inning or the last quarter. But running, you can't. It's the race of truth. You can't hide out there.
Okay. Well, the lead just switched. Angela just took over the lead. There she goes.
Well, then we'll let you go so you can go run with her. So
all right.
Good talking to you, Ed. Bye.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.